Good morning, fam. JuJuan Buford, broadcast from Detroit Metro. And, you know, it's a topic that a lot of individuals are conversing more and more about, and that's the comparisons to what's transpiring now with the pandemic and the 2008 recession. And, while it's tempting once again to put your head in the sand and try to hold on and wait for the situation to recover or get better, there are some things we can be doing as entrepreneurs as well, of course, to be thriving in this crisis. So, look, let's not make light about it, right? COVID is sweeping the United States. It's claiming lives and financial solvency of households all across the country. The comparisons to 2008 are certainly apropos for those reasons. You have soaring unemployment. GDP is going to, of course, drop inevitably. You have market volatility. And there's an increasing sense of homelessness that people are experiencing. I mean, it's enough to smother, quite frankly, the most ardent optimists, right? And look, some people are arguing that what makes 2020 different from 2008 is that the collapse in the economy is due to an external factor, right? Something outside of what typically would transpire in our economy, financially and otherwise, as opposed to structural frailties leading to some of the positive as soon as this virus recedes, right? That the economy is somehow going to magically and quickly recover. And it's a whimsical narrative, to be transparent with you. If not for the disheartening state of affairs, that's exactly what I would call it, whimsical. In other corners, this overlying narrative is being met with a lot of consternation and cynicism, and for good reason. Look, if you take a cursory look at the people who are talking about the economy supposedly being perfect, if it wasn't for this virus and recovering quickly, those people are fomenting that type of thinking. They tend to be the same individuals who are waxing about, flipping the pandemic on its head as an opportunity for self-care or, a pseudo vacation, allowing for some much-needed pampering. When the reality of the matter is the pandemic may be even more psychologically debilitating than the recession of 2008 because of the inability of people right now who had scant time or resources to even conceive of a vacation in the first place before COVID-19. We're not able to hustle. We're not able to go out and acquire gigs or pivot as easily due to the physical distancing and the general quarantine being required of citizens, right? It's much more difficult. These conditions have served to shine a really bright light on the fact that this supposedly robust economy before COVID-19 wasn't really serving individuals. People were check to check. But look, I digress. Look, here's the thing. Given the aforementioned, it might be easy, for entrepreneurs simply to give up, put their heads in the sand, and ride the pandemic out, right? Reads and sayings that type this. That's just not what we do. Staying put is not what entrepreneurs do, and during these trying times, the nation needs our vigor, our restlessness, and our fanatical problem-solving idiosyncrasies. It's just what we bring to the table, right? And the nation needs it more than ever. So what's the more appropriate response to what's transpiring? What can you do as an entrepreneur, whether you're already established or whether or not you're an aspiring entrepreneur, to kind of meet the challenges that are being posed today? Number one, you got to double up on promoting your business, right? Double up on promotions and marketing. The typical response for most business owners is to pull back during a crisis, to cut back on expenses, and to hoard as much of their resources in their man and women caves as possible. And that's the last thing you want to be doing right now. Look, when this situation happens, that's what creates the opportunity. At the end of the day, we're all competing for the attention and the disposable income of the public, right? So what you really want to be doing at this very moment is you want to turn up the volume while your competition is sleeping. So you can ramp up your marketing, so you can ramp up your business development efforts right now. I'm giving you permission, do it, right? Now you have to do it in such a way where you don't come off offensive or exploitative, right? And we're going to talk about that for a moment. One of the best ways, of course, to make sure that you're striking the right tone and you have the right attitude is to begin with the end in mind, which should be serving others at the end of the day, right? So what are some of the things you can do? First and foremost, what I'd encourage individuals to do is find ways to ask or survey your clients and prospects. Uncover what their pressing needs are. Don't jump on the phone leading with your products and services. Lead with, how can I be of service to you? What is going on with you in your life? What's most important to you personally? What's most important to you in terms of your business? Where are you struggling, right? Be a problem solver and ask yourself, how can I meet the need directly that may be articulated or shared with me? Or if I can't meet the need directly, how can I connect them with the resources they desire, right? The other thing that you're going to have to consider we all have to consider this, right? Is you may have to cut your prices and find areas where you can add value for free. I mean, or very, very, very inexpensively. In other words, if you typically charge $200 an hour for your consulting services, you may need to dial it down to $100 an hour. It is what it is, right? And if you're in the business, let's say, for instance, of delivering cakes or chocolate-covered berry flowers and decorations, take orders at a steep discount for the future and promise to deliver once the virus containment kind of subsides or relax a little bit, right? Send people a picture of their anticipated delivery, or better yet, hey, 30-second video, right? 30-second video, record on your phone, thanking people for patronizing you despite the conditions. Here's the thing. You're going to have to start cold calling again. I know. No one wants to hear that, right? You're going to have to start sending thoughtful, well-timed email campaigns again. And it may even require you to start sending individual emails again. You're going to have to spend late nights responding to every social media like, share, and comment again. In other words, you're going to have to pump up the volume in terms of your activity and engagement because you cut back on your prices. That means you have to take on more clients to offset the loss, right? Now, are these things going to hurt? Of course they're going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to hurt, right? Do it anyway. Now's the time to be sprinting, right? You can deal with the pain later on. Now's the time to sprint and once again grab up market share, right? Be salient. Be important to the people around you. Number 3, look, spend more time sifting from mutually beneficial relationships, specifically those who are already in your industry. Now, I know that may sound funny, right? Why would you go to your competition and all of a sudden now say, I want to strike up a mutual beneficial relationship? Look, and let's be real, this may not be an option for some of us, right? But let's take real estate professionals, for instance. There are real estate professionals who are very good at bird dogging and prospecting others, right? It's just what they're good at. They may not be good at anything else, but they have a knack for engaging people and uncovering opportunities better than others. There are other real estate professionals that are better at qualifying, being empathetic, uncovering people's needs, having an ear for things, right? They're able to tap into the needs, wants, and dreams of others. They're able to quickly tickle people's heartstrings and gain trust and communicate bad news in such a way where, look, it doesn't even matter whether a difficult decision, it still sounds right as rain, right? And then you have the bean counters, as I like to refer to them. They can quantify the value prop in seconds, right? Quickly deduce whether a buying or selling decision is going to be profitable, punitive. Oftentimes, these same individuals may be particularly adept at creating unconventional terms to serve the needs of their buyers and sellers. Look, very rarely do you find professionals with all 3 of these traits. In other words, be aware of where your peers are weak or disadvantaged. In other words, don't be surprised by the willingness of individuals to entertain affiliate and relationships and partnerships now, right? The bottom line is depressed economies tend to depress egos. So people who may have blown you off before in the past, they might be more open-minded to dealing with you now, right? So remember, at the end of the day, the goal is to win. Put the other stuff to the side. Number 4, cut expenses. But remember, don't cut yourself into a financial hole. Now, what do I mean by that? At some point, you have to still find ways to create and manufacture opportunities. You just can't take these type of measures and expect to cut expenses, and that's going to save your business alone. You still have to generate revenues. You still have to take on new clients. Or at the very least, find ways to engage and service your existing clients. And yes, again, I'm going to say it just for the sake of redundancy. Yes, continue to take on new clients. Think about your dollars metaphorically like soldiers, right? Ideally, you want to send your soldiers into the field so they can secure resources, secure skills, secure tools, right? And ideally, return back to base of what? Also more additional captured soldiers. You still want to put your money to work for you. You have to still make smart legal and financial and marketing decisions. You still have to find ways to market your business, even more so now. Make cuts and reduce your overhead, but don't be so draconian about it that you cripple yourself. In other words, be willing to embrace the ugly duckling stage of your business again. Before you could afford the secretary, the $2,000, the $5,000, the $10,000, $20,000, office suite, right? Your $1,000 suits and your $50 lattes, right? Embrace the ugly duckling stage of your business and be creative about finding services that still allow you to function intelligently. Look, I'm a huge fan. And, just full disclosure, an affiliate of services like Small Biz, right? It helps small business owners conduct research, helps you continue to market, acquire clients, make better tax and financial and legal decisions. It still helps you operate and is cost effective. If you want to learn more about that, definitely check out the article, right, that is attached to this video. Take the time to reflect on things that you need to learn, right? That's another thing. You shouldn't be sitting on your hands right now. Take time to learn skills, gain knowledge that you know you should have acquired or need to acquire to level up. Look, I'm not a social media guru, don't pretend to be. I don't enjoy the best vanity statistics across any platform. However, I regularly take on clients and establish new business relationships on a weekly basis due to my social media presence. And I decided actually yesterday to learn Pinterest. And of course, I'm sure that my partner and grow giving and digital marketing strategist that she is, Mr. Shelley Wilson, will be glad to hear this news, right? Because it was something I was dragging my feet on. But look, let's say you're a writer. Perhaps it's time for you to invest in the well-fed writer, the writer's market, or a grant writing book. Here's a huge clue. The moment the pandemic subsides, there's going to be a significant outpouring of monies in the private and profit sector and for-profit, in the private, for-profit, and non-profit sectors of the economy, geared towards entrepreneurship and small business development. There'll be no shortage of work for those who can write renting grants and business plans and proposals. Look, money doesn't disappear, it just changes hands. It's just important for you to get on the right side of the fence. And you might have to make a hard or dramatic pivot in order to do so. Look, if your business is relying upon new home purchases, for instance, now might be the time to focus your attention on residential and commercial refurbishment instead, right, and cleaning services. Mortgages are going to need to be refinanced. The cannabis industry, don't let me get you started on that, right? Grief and psychological clinics are going to thrive. Keep in mind, there are some industries as well and investment opportunities that are just recession proof. And these are things that you should think critically about being an entrepreneur. I want to encourage individuals, of course, as well, focus squarely on the things you can control, mainly your attitude. Look, the pandemic is going to end, and the goal should not be to simply survive, but to thrive, right? Find ways to come out of this pandemic stronger, being able to go further, being able to go farther than you did before, right? It's unfortunate, but there's still opportunities in order that can allow you to have success. And the bottom line is, look, a depressed, strained, and stressed mind does not make good decisions. So lastly, but not least, turn off the television and constant social media feeds clamoring about the end of the world. Find a podcast, a book, join a social circle that is focusing on things that can be done to emerge stronger, more fortified than before. So as always, thank you for your time. Look, if you were feeling this content, I'm just going to encourage you, please do. Look at the comments, click the links if you want to join the next Opportunity Social community. Of course, always glad to have you here in CATCHJS Buford. You want a consultation, you want to discuss matters more, click the link. Be more than happy to have a consultation with you about how you continue to grow and scale, make good smart marketing, legal and financial decisions during this pandemic and after it ends. Thank you again for your time. Goodbye for now.